Yesterday, there was a wonderful reading, and I didn't talk about the Old Testament reading about Elias or Elijah, as you'd like to call him. But I think it's so important and so meaningful. I need to spend some time just thinking about that. Here was a woman who is not a Jew. She's a Phoenician. In other words, a woman who lives on the coast, Sidon. And she doesn't follow the Jewish religion, doesn't believe in the Jewish God. And she's sent by God to take care of Elijah the prophet, who was fed, as you remember, by ravens who gave him food in the morning and at night, bread, not flour, bread and meat in the morning and at night. These ravens eat carrion, so it's dead meat, it's impure meat offered to the prophet. He had to eat it because God said to eat it. But for a Jew, it was detestable to eat this carrion unless he went to a butcher shop or a restaurant and stole kosher meat. And then, if that wasn't enough, when the drought, which lasted not a couple of months like our crisis, but 3.5 years, he didn't ask God to send any rain, and no rain came. So where he was hiding out, the creek dried up. So God sends him now to Sidon, a non-Jewish city, to a non-Jewish woman, a widow. A lot of widows in Israel were suffering, and in Judah were suffering because there was no rain. But God doesn't send him to them. Why? Because the promised land was not offering to God right praise. They weren't worshiping the true and living God. And so he punished them. And he showed them that if you, the Jews, promised people, my chosen people, do not worship me, do not wish to worship me, I will find from the animals and from those who are near to animals, non-believers, the goyim, as the Jews call us, I will procure worship and faith. And so Elias goes to this woman and says, give me a cup of water. Had to be dirty water because she wasn't a clean Jew. And while he's on her way, this little woman who was out collecting sticks, a widow, he says, and bring me a piece of bread. Make me a biscuit. I hope it was a McDonald's or a Burger King biscuit. But anyway, a little piece of bread. And with the cup of water. She said, I have no flour. I'm out here collecting sticks because my son and I are going to die, and I'm going to I have a little flour left and a little oil. I'm going to make a little cake, and I'm going to eat it with and share it with my son, and we're going to die. And Elias says, no, you won't die. God will provide, but first serve me. What a selfish man. No, he's the representative of God. He's saying, you give to God first, and then you worry about you. And you'll have flour for as long as I'm here. And until this drought is over, you'll have flour and you'll have oil. You won't die. And she believed him. So she made the cake for him and brought it to him. And indeed, the flour did not end, and the oil did not run out as long as the drought lasted. We think we're so privileged. We've been called by God, but we produce nothing. Our hollow praise is all earthly done. And God is not pleased if we do not want to worship him, and we 17% worship God now. 17%. If we don't want to worship God, he will find birds as Francis did, and fish as Anthony did, to sing his praises. And non believers will come into the church as the Chinese are coming into the church, and the Africans are coming into the church. Because we who have the privilege are too interested in making cakes and having oil for ourselves, and do not give to God in faith what He asks of us, what He demands of us. Give me a little water and make me a little cake.